Welcome into the Panthers.com video mailbag. Staff writer Max Henson here as the Panthers get set to host an NFC Championship game for the first time. The Arizona Cardinals coming to town on Sunday to fight for a trip to the Super Bowl. We got our first question this week from Jackson Johnson, who says, Seattle had the best rush defense in the league, and Carolina ran for 144 yards on them. Arizona has the sixth best rush defense, so how does this team replicate that rushing success? It's an important factor of the game for Carolina. They always want to set the tone physically, running the ball behind that really good offensive line up front. You saw them really set the tone against Seattle, of course, with 59-yard play on the first play of the game. And Jonathan Stewart up over 100 yards. That hadn't happened to Seattle in 27 consecutive games. So, of course, for Carolina, they want to continue that rushing success, and they got another tough challenge. Arizona is very good against the run. However, against Green Bay in their previous rounds, the Packers ran for 135, so it can be done. You can run on this Arizona Cardinals team. That is something the Panthers want to do, of course. It really sets the tone for their entire offense. Jonathan Stewart, of course, the workhorse back. But something we didn't see against Seattle that you might see in this game is Cam Newton running the ball. It wasn't quite as close in the first half, and into the second half, Carolina was protecting a lead against Seattle, so you didn't really want to expose Cam Newton to risk. But you know he's a big part of Carolina's run game as well, so I would expect full throttle for Carolina, every weapon they have in the run game, try to hit Arizona in the mouth and set the tone physically. Got our next question from Josh Allen, who asks, how will the defensive secondary prepare for Arizona's aggressive passing attack? It's a matchup everybody's been looking forward to watching this week. And you look at Arizona's aggressive play calling offensively. They are willing to take deep shots early and often, and for good reason. I mean, Carson Palmer, that strong arm, throwing those deep passes to a really, really good group of wide receivers, headlined by Larry Fitzgerald and Michael Floyd. He trusts those guys to come down with it. And Arizona, as we said, are not afraid. They're going to take shots. For Carolina's secondary, they see that as an opportunity. They know they're going to be tested. They know they're going to be challenged. They know they have a tough task ahead of them, especially after last week in the second half, Seattle's Russell Wilson able to make some big plays. They know they got to be better. And this is a challenge, an opportunity to do that on the biggest stage, an NFC Championship game with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line. They know that there might be some doubt out there. They know that maybe there are some who think this Arizona wide receiver core has a big edge. I think Carolina will play with a chip on their shoulder in the secondary, and they look forward to seeing how they measure up. We got our last question from Camden Bouchard, who asked, what Panther player under the radar will be most likely to make a big game-changing play? That's an interesting question, and it's one I thought about for a while, and the name I kept coming back to was Charles Johnson. And I know you look at some of the leaders on this Panthers team, all of them have really made some big impactful plays on this run as Carolina has advanced to the NFC Championship game. For Charles Johnson, it's been a tough year. You know, had to sit out for so long on IR, short-term IR, coming back from injury. Then once he got back into the fold, he's been trying to get to the quarterback and make some big plays we're accustomed to seeing from him, and it's been frustrating. Even look at last week against Seattle, Russell Wilson is so elusive. It's tough for those pass rushers on the edge to get to him without him escaping. Well, here's a matchup for Charles Johnson that he could really thrive in. You look at Carson Palmer, he likes to stand in that pocket, stay on his spot, and deliver the football. And for Charles, it's an opportunity to collapse the pocket from the edge, maybe get to him, one of those strip sacks that we haven't seen from him in a little while that you know he's capable of. You get the sense he's been close. And now, in this matchup with so much on the line, you wonder if one of Carolina's leaders, one of the guys who's been on this team through all the ups and downs over the years, is maybe ready to make one of those big game-changing plays when they need him most. Well, thanks for the questions this week, everybody. I know everyone is incredibly excited about this NFC Championship game. We'll see how it plays out and do it again next time right here on Panthers.com.